Welcome to From the Concrete, the series that recognizes pioneers, innovators, trendsetters, and most of all, the next generation of change makers by giving them their flowers now. I'm your host, Brianna Elmore. Today we have an amazing guest, Austun Reid. Austun, how are you?
I'm good, Bree. I'm good. I appreciate it. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well. We're
Good,
so
good,
excited
good.
you're here. I am about to, this is a tough bio, okay? As a writer, producer, entertainer, serial entrepreneur, and creative, Austun has carved a space for himself in the entertainment industry, working on projects like Bel Air and Will Packer's acclaimed Fight Night. He has also collaborated with industry-leading professionals such as producer Devon Franklin, Kevin Hart, and actor-comedian Kev on Stage. As a Maryland native and a proud HBCU graduate from Oakwood University, Austun, Austun has always had a passion for sharing Black stories and championing Black voices. With a growing social media audience and several viral moments under his belt, Austun has built a following through his engaging, relatable, and often hilarious content. His unique style resonates widely, and his platform continues to grow as he shares humorous takes and stories that capture modern life. Beyond social media, Austun has numerous projects in development, reinforcing his dedication to creating content that entertains, informs, and inspires. Austun.
Wow. It's so weird, like, hearing your bio read by other people. Like, it's just like, wow, I'm trying to do the thing.
I actually just ate that up.
You did. Look, let me give you your flowers, because you read that.
Thank you. No, I'm talking about you ate that up, but we both ate. Nobody, listen, everybody eats.
Everybody eats. This is the table, everybody eats at our table,
everybody's at the table. Everybody has a seat at that table, and everybody eats here, okay?
Exactly.
So we're so happy to have you here.
I'm super excited to be here. I'm happy to be here. Thank you guys for the invite.
Yes. Oh, my God. Like, we are about to get into it. So are you ready to dig in?
I'm ready to dig in. Let's go.
All right, let's do this.
Let's do it.
Let's start with getting to know more about what led you on your path in getting to the root. So here we're going to just do a little planning. I like to put my gloves on.
Okay. I'm going to do it the same.
Okay.
When in Rome, do as the Romans.
Exactly. All right, and we're just going to answer some questions and do this pattern. All right, so my first question for you is, what would you say was the defining moment for you that got you on this path towards entertainment?
Ooh. I would say that the defining moment was honestly, growing up, I knew I wanted to be in an entertainment space, but I didn't really know how to go about it, especially coming from a background where my family is doctors. They're doctors and lawyers and things like that. And so I also come from a Nigerian background.
Okay.
And entertainment wasn't necessarily seen as kind of like a way to make a career, honestly.
It's like you got to prove that.
Yeah,
that's like, okay, it's got to be proven lucrative.
And again, I didn't really have any, nobody to tell me kind of how to go about that. And so I would say the defining moment was back in 2020 when a video of mine went viral. That was like my first viral video. And, I was on the news and things like that. And, that ended up getting me my internship with Devon Franklin. And that was definitely the defining moment, the transition from that viral moment to working for Devon, because it opened up kind of Pandora's box for me as a creator and in me as in the production space as well. I was able to understand the behind the scenes space of entertainment. I didn't really, obviously I knew that there was writers and producers and stuff like that for TV, but I didn't really know the intricacies of it all. And so that was kind of the eye-opening moment, I can be in this career space, and I can also be a writer or a producer or whatever the case may be. Yeah.
And it's you don't have to be as limited.
Exactly.
Right? A lot of the times when people go viral and all that stuff, what you have done, and we will be talking about it, okay? Because
please, they're not ready yet. They're not ready yet.
At the end of this pod, we're gonna have to do
A little debrief
Do
or
the
something.
pull
Yeah.
up. Do the bus pull
The
up.
bus pull up challenge.
But going viral, did you feel like it just kind of catapulted yourself like to a different like degree of visibility,
Yeah.
right? Because it's just
Yeah.
like, especially, it's like, and then also like, what would that transition look like from just going to be like regular life,
Yeah.
just posting and
Yeah.
whatever, and then now you viral,
Yeah.
you on the news,
Yeah.
and then going to a space from going from that into going behind the scenes,
Yeah.
kind of like,
Yeah.
how was that transition for you?
It was weird. It was interesting because I think that, in 2020, it created a shift in society as a whole of where people can make a career out of making content.
Okay.
And it's true. The pandemic really birthed, again, a new wavelength of the way that people make money, i.e. content creation, influencing, whatever. For me, I didn't necessarily understand I didn't understand kind of where that virality would kind of lead me, 3, 4, or 5 years later, me living out in LA and people noticing me from like videos and stuff that I'm just like this is weird to me. And so it was a tough transition because for me, my younger self, I really cared about like what people thought about me and like things like that, which, rightfully so. I feel like,
Right.
if people say you don't care what people think about you, you're lying. Somebody's lying.
Exactly.
But when I was younger, I did care a lot about what people said to me. And so, going viral and, creating a following and things like that, I was really nervous in a sense. I see hate comments all the time from other people, not from me personally, but like,
Yeah.
I see, people coming up in the industry, like hate comments or like, what if something leaks out
get
about
treacherous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though I don't have anything to be like exposed about or anything like that, I'm just like, what if somebody finds something crazy,
Yeah.
spins it or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But I'm also, I'm not gonna say I like it, but I'm not mad at being the center of attention. Like in real life, I'm the life of the party. I really am. And so that side of things wasn't new to me. Me kind of people kind of reacting to the way that I acted wasn't new to me. But number one, being in school, having this viral moment, continuing on to make content, continuing to go viral, as well as like being picked up in the entertainment space, like it was a lot to take in and get adjusted to. And I'm still, I've been in the entertainment industry, for 5 years now at this point, and I'm still every day still getting used to it. Like there are like random times in the day I'll be driving in LA, I'm just like, wow, like I really live here. Like I'm really doing this.
As a graduate of a historically black
Oh
university,
yeah,
okay?
HBCU.
Period.
Oh yeah.
Okay, rep it. Okay. How's your experience at Oakwood University? How has that shaped you? And into the creative that you are, but also how has that inspired you to tell the stories that you decide to tell?
Ooh. Well, number one, how it shaped me, going to an HBCU, I wouldn't have had it any other way. I pride myself in the fact that I was surrounded by like-minded people, people that I didn't have to explain certain things to. And it's just nice to see black people in that space of everybody's out there to get it.
Yeah.
And in Maryland, I grew up in a very, affluent neighborhood and a lot of us were black people. And so, I never grew up kind of feeling like the minority at all.
Yeah.
Again, especially growing up, in a neighborhood with a lot of black people and, successful black people, then transitioning into an HBCU, I think that helped continue to shape me into the black man that I am today, number one. And number two, it helped kind of shape the stories that I tell today because I'm very, very pro-black. That doesn't mean I'm anti-white.
Okay. Though we do.
But
listen,
I'm pro.
we are pro.
I'm
rooting for
pro-black.
everyone black.
I am pro-black. And I want to make sure that there's opportunities for us specifically.
Yeah.
Because, it's especially in the entertainment industry, what I want to do is create a space for black creatives to be a writer, to be a producer, to be an actor, actress, whatever the case may be. Because I do not feel like there's a lot of opportunities for us. And even if there are opportunities for us, we see how many black shows are getting canceled on the daily.
Yeah.
And so I think that going to an HBCU, again, really opened my eyes to kind of that aspect of things. And furthermore, working in the entertainment space and kind of seeing how black people are treated in this space, I want to create something different.
Yeah. And I think, to your point, I think as I can speak for the way I was brought up,
Yeah.
and what I
Yeah.
imagine. I feel like Black people tend to have like a lot of the same experiences, right?
Absolutely.
So it's like, oh my God,
Absolutely.
I feel like we all live the same life
We do.
in different
different
fonts.
for
Yeah.
sure.
So see, you get
Yeah,
it.
I get it.
So I think that it's like ingrained in us at a young age
Yeah.
that like if you do break through the door, you have to kick that thing open.
Absolutely.
You have to hold it open
Yeah.
and bring other
Absolutely.
people in there
Absolutely.
with you so that we can actually bring
Yeah.
forth
Yeah.
more representation
Yeah.
and be able to see ourselves
Yeah.
not only in the content on the screen but also behind the scene is
Yeah.
just as important,
Yeah. And
if not more important.
That's a great point. I think about it, but I didn't really articulate it. I think that that's a good point because again, like, I think subconsciously there is a responsibility that I feel like I have, especially, as a Black man breaking his way into the entertainment industry. I want to be a resource to other people, Black people specifically, that are trying to break their way into the industry because I've made it to this point and it's hard. It's hard. AF.
Yeah.
It's hard. And I want to, again, I want to, because I broke my way through it and paved this way, I want to continue to help other people, come up and, hey, like, I got you too.
Yeah, and I think that it's also important to note it's just like it's tough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like you need that support. You
Yeah.
need that like that netting of just like security. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
And
for
having
sure.
a foundation,
Absolutely.
especially being out here most of the time. If you're out here in LA, you are a transplant.
Yeah.
You're not by your
Yeah,
family, and
yeah,
it's just like,
yeah.
and the cost of living
Yeah,
is high.
it's
You know what I
high,
mean? And
yeah.
it's just like sometimes it can feel like it's a thankless industry to an extent, right?
is.
So it's just like you got to keep going.
Yeah. A lot of people appreciate vulnerability, and a lot of people like to appreciate, like, hey, like, this person is doing X, Y, and Z, but they're still going through the same things that I'm going through. Or, like, I think a lot of the time, I know a lot of the times people share only the highlights of their lives, or, like, they only want to show, like, the edited part or, like, the best life, which is cool, but also, like, that's not real life. Like, real life, you have struggles. Real life, you have this.
Real
life,
life
you
is
have
rough,
that. It is.
you know?
It is. And that's what, I think I've been wanting to be more vulnerable on social, because as much as I appreciate people saying, oh my goodness, like, you're doing so well, like, I want to have your life, et cetera, I'm like, you may want to have my life because you see what's going on social for real, but you don't see the tears that I cry like every other day trying to make. You don't see the emails that I send out. You don't see like the struggles, the late nights, the early mornings, like all that stuff. And so I want to, again, just create an authentic and honest space. Like, yeah, like, yes, I'm living my best life, but also like I'm crashing out. And that's what I was talking about. I have a blog, shameless plug, Austun, AUSTHOUGHS.
Okay, ain't no plug here, shameless. Hit it again.
You're right, Austun. You can go to my website, www.austunreid.com, AUSTUN.REID.com. You can check out my blog. And that's kind of where I just share, all these different moments and stuff like that. And so my most recent blog post, it was titled, I picked the worst time to work in Hollywood and I'm crashing out.
That's literally the specific post that I was like, I literally saw that and I was like, I started looking around me. I was like, first of all, sir, don't read me like that. You don't even know me. You know what I mean? But but I think that it was just so, it resonated with me so deeply because I was just like, because I feel like especially if you're on your purpose, right? If at some point you don't look at yourself and be like, what's going on? What am I doing? Like, what is going on? Why am I doing it? And sometimes, but it's just like, that's how you know, okay, we must push forward.
Absolutely.
We must keep going.
Absolutely.
It's literally like, okay,
absolutely,
this is a reason, but I'm just not able to see it, but you got to keep rolling. Almost like that SpongeBob episode where they were going through and delivering that pizza.
And I got it during the rain, the storms, all
like
that
this
stuff. Yeah, he
with
said
the
you got to
pizza
keep going. Yeah, that was actually a tough post for me to get out because I think that was the most vulnerable that I've felt and been on social. Because, I was talking about, the writer's strike and, the fires and stuff like that. And, my aunt passing away and, me getting let go from a show when it was done and, like, having to pay these bills and, like, all that stuff. And, again, I was just laying it all out. Like, I was laying it all out. And I remember posting it, I typed out the blog, posted it, whatever. Then I shared it to my social media. And I was, like, filled with, like, so much anxiety because I'm like, dang, like, people are going to, like, see, like, I mean, again, I don't really mind, but again, it's just like, this is like the most real and raw that I've ever gotten, in front of my audience. And it was
still
tough.
An artist and you sensitive about your stuff,
absolutely.
and I think, but I wanted to personally thank you for
Yeah.
that post.
Yeah.
Obviously, all the posts,
Thank
but
you.
that post specifically,
Thank you.
because again, like, it just helps. It just
Thank
helps
you.
to know,
Yeah,
like,
for
it's like,
sure, for
okay,
sure.
especially people that you admire. It's like,
Mhm.
okay, well, all right, that
Yeah.
makes you feel a little better.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like, okay, it's
yeah,
not just me.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
feel like sometimes, again, comparison is a thief of joy.
It is.
Howsoever,
It is.
it does help to know that you're in community still with
Yeah.
other people,
Yeah.
especially like when I said people you admire and people whose journey you admire, and you care about their journey.
Yeah,
You want to
yeah.
see them win, but also it helps to let them know, like, hey, failure is a part of the process,
It
right?
is.
And not
It is.
necessarily failure,
Yeah.
but even some
Adjustments and all
turbulence.
that. Yeah, yeah. A lot of people want to leave like when things get tough, when things get challenging. But I think that's what makes or breaks the greats from the mediocres. Because it's just like, when the going gets tough and you quit, what are you gonna do? When you have that platform, when you get a little bigger and it gets harder, it's only gonna get harder.
Yeah.
And so I take these challenges as lessons and I put them in my back pocket. And I'm just like, dang, like this is tough right now. This sucks, but we gonna keep pushing.
So many people aspire to break into the industry. So what advice would you give them about getting into their first, like, production assistant or any
Yeah.
production gig? And I
Yeah.
know that for you it's a little bit unconventional
It
the way
is.
that you did.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give, like, having, like, what is it? Hindsight 20 is
Yeah.
2020. So what would you say?
Honestly, well, my first thing that I would say is find out what you want to do in terms of, like, if you want to work on a show, if you want to work on a movie, whatever the case may be, and go on like IMDb or like go on like Instagram, go on YouTube, find all those directors, find all those people, reach out to them. A lot of the project that I've worked on early on, it was because I sourced that information. For example, when I was working on, or when I wanted to work for Bel Air, I found the creator Morgan Cooper. Shout out to Morgan Cooper.
Shout out to Morgan.
Made the reimagined version of the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, which is now called Bel Air. And I found his information at the time. His email was in his Instagram. I ended up emailing him, wanting to let him know that I wanted to work on the show. A couple years later, I ended up, working on the show. And my other advice would be to annoy. And I say that in terms of, again, reaching out to people. I myself, I'm not even up there, and I get 200-300 emails in a week, and so stuff passes by all the time. What about these other these directors, assistants, whatever the case may be? They get thousands of emails on a daily, and so your email might slip through the cracks. So my thing is follow up. Email, hey, just following up. A couple weeks later, hey, just following up. A couple weeks later, hey, just following up. Eventually, you'll either get a yes, or hey, let's do some more stuff, or you're gonna no, and that's just what it is. The answer is always no. Until you ask, until you put yourself out there. And another piece of advice I would say is a lot of people think that you have to reach out to those big people to get those opportunities.
Yeah.
Whereas it's the people behind the scenes that make the decisions. Meaning, Beyonce, for example. A lot of people think that, to work with Beyonce, you got to get to Beyonce or like get to Mama Tina or get to Jay-Z, whatever the case may be. No. Beyonce has assistants. Beyonce has people that work for her.
You need to go to Parkwood.
Exactly.
And then that's where you figure out
and
who
those
you
are the
need to
people
talk
that make
to.
the decisions. So again, a lot of people think that you have to, reach the artist, reach the director, reach the producer, whatever the case may be. No, they have people behind the scenes that check their emails. Those are the people that make the decisions. I'm sure Beyonce doesn't even know the password to her email.
Now, you've done so much in your career, but we would love to know how you fill your own cup and pour into yourself. Right?
I like that.
Okay,
like
we
that.
love it. We love it. But
Okay.
as we learn how you pour into yourself,
Yeah.
we are also going to pour up some tea because this is
Okay.
where we're getting to it.
Let's do it. Y'all got another tequila to go with the tea, or? Just kidding.
Tequila.
I'm
That
just kidding.
we didn't see that part of your rider. We didn't see that part of the rider, so we only have tea. This time it's only
I'm
tea.
just messing with y'all.
But later, I don't
Look, after the show.
Yeah, after the show.
After the
So
show
we got
we'll
some
talk.
good sweet tea
No,
for
thank
you.
you.
So we're going to get to it. So, first question in this segment is moving to Los Angeles from Maryland must have been a significant adjustment. So, how do you pour into yourself now that you are living on your own and away from your family and your support system?
Yeah. Now that I'm out here, when I go back to Alabama, because now that's home, because my parents live there now.
Home is wherever mama and daddy
Yeah,
at,
exactly, exactly. Maryland will always have my heart, though. But,
But yes,
Huntsville is home right now.
Yeah.
And so, it's nice when I go back home to, visit my college and stuff like that. I'm also able to see my family For example, I just went out there last week. My college, they invited me back to be a speaker for their film festival.
Which is amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, it was. I was like, wow, like I reached that level now. Like, okay. And they were gonna put me up in a hotel, but I was like, no, I'm gonna stay with my mom and daddy. That's what it was.
And I'm sure they would love that. Great. Yes.
Yeah. So saved them some money, but I was also able to like fill myself back up, with family, and also on top of that, speaking of filling myself up. I do make sure that I see my family at least once a quarter. Mm-hmm. And so this was the end of March was our quarter visit. Okay. And I have my sister. I'm super close to my sister. Shout out to Lauren. She lives in DC.
Out to Lauren. Shout out to Lauren. She lives in DC. Is Lauren big or little sis?
We're the same age.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Period.
So
sis.
We take a trip like every couple weeks. Like I just took a trip with her in January. I'm seeing her again in May. We're doing our annual Juneteenth trip. We got some going on in October. So we always try to see each other.
I love that. Yeah. I love that y'all travel together too. I think that's very important.
Absolutely. I made it a mission this year, 2025. I said every month I'm going to go on a different trip. And I've done it so far.
I love that. I love that. That is a goal. Yeah. Okay. But that's a very good way to pour into yourself because it just gives you different perspective and you're still living life.
Absolutely.
While you have to also like produce and write and create those different things. I think that's so important and crucial for a creative to just live and experience life and also culture themselves.
And also get out of LA too. I think that a lot of times when I leave, it's just like a breath of fresh air because I'm just able to be like, I can breathe now. But then on the flip side of that, like coming back, I have so much anxiety because I'm just like, dang, like, okay, I get back, I got to shoot this, I got to write this, I got to finish this, I got to do this, I got to pay this bill, I got to do this. I'm like, oh my gosh.
No, for real. Because I think it definitely helps to ground you and keep you a little bit more like, ooh, okay. Absolutely. It levels you out a little bit.
For sure.
You do need a little perspective for LA. That's what I've learned.
You do. You really do.
Especially just like it's just too much going on.
It is, yeah.
All right. Also, you can just do your little water.
Let's do my little water. I'm gonna try this sweet tea. Let's see.
Let's see if it's hitting. Because you've been in the South now.
Oh.
It's hitting.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
All right.
We know what's going on. So now that you've worked on numerous projects, from smaller budget productions to grandiose projects, how do you remain grounded when you're dealing with larger than life personalities? Because you kind of have to be a chameleon. How do you do that?
Ooh, that's good. Well, for me, I think because I've been in this industry for as long as I have been now, I'm not going to say I don't get starstruck, but I think it's just a matter of like time and place. Yeah. And also like in LA, you run into just random people all the time too. So that's kind of like made me realize like, oh, like obviously they're people too, but like, oh, they're people too.
Yeah, it's just kind of tricky.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is. And so a way that I kind of stay grounded and things like that is like, it's not silly because I'm not gonna say it's silly, but it's funny. It's just funny. But what I do is, I act very professional, to them. But then when I get back home, like, I'll write about it. And I'll be like, dang, like, I met X, Y, and Z. Like, Will Smith, for example, he came on set, the last few weeks of filming. And he's one of the people that I really look up to. Yeah. And so, I'm like, hey, Mr. Smith, how you doing? Obviously I didn't ask for no pictures or anything like that. But, I was able to, like, write down on my journal and, like, fanboy about it later in a sense.
Because it's like you can't trip
you
out.
Can't do it right then and there.
Because they'll be like, can we get security at a certain point?
Exactly. But, and this may sound a little cocky, but I do know at some point I will see that person again. And so that's when I'll, like, ask for a picture or, like, revisit the fanboy conversation. Coco Jones is a perfect example. Like, I was a huge fan of her musically and, seeing her on set and stuff like that. I'm like, wow, like, I'm driving around Coco Jones, whatever. Then we developed a friendship. Then I was able to kind of talk to her a little bit more about some stuff.
First of all, we love your social media. I do.
Thank you.
The pod loves it. Okay.
Thank you.
And so for some people, it can be overwhelming. What are some wellness practices that you use to create to create some centering for yourself and grounding for yourself?
All my social media notifications are turned off. I do not have any of my notifications on. If I need to see what's going on, I'll open up the app and see them, but like they're not like on my phone. Yeah. That's number one. Number two, I always try to keep things into perspective, in terms of like the social media side. Because again, as I mentioned earlier, I feel like a lot of people kind of put like their best selves on social, which is not a bad thing. but also, comparison is the joy.
Yeah.
And at times, I've found myself comparing myself to other people, or saying, hey, like they have this, like why don't I? Or like,
Yeah.
we have the same credentials, but yet they're doing this, I'm not, et cetera, et cetera. And so for me, I also have like time limits on my apps. Like I think I have like an hour and a half each day for like all three.
Throughout,
Yeah.
it won't let you in.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Well, it will if I do a little code, but I'll I try to.
But at that point, it's like I really got to think about doing this. What is going on? Yeah.
So it's that, and then I sometimes just go on like random just hiatuses. So I'll just delete the apps and just like not worry about it. And so that's how I kind of just keep in check of all of that, because social media doom scrolling is just like a deep place that you can get yourself sucked into.
I agree.
And seeing everybody doing what they got to do. And something that I saw on Twitter like a couple months ago now, as humans, we should not have this much like interaction with people on the daily. They were saying like, from people's like tweets, from people's Instagram posts, from people's TikToks, like we're consuming so many people in a day. Like that's not like normal.
Yeah.
And so I think about that as well too. I'm just like, dang, like let me
chill out.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
I think that's a really smart way to put it into perspective as well. And I think that also allows you to go back to experiencing life in a real way.
Yes,
You know what I mean? And it's just like, okay, so it's easier to separate my real life, real reality, and it's easier to keep certain things private or to just be like natural. And then it's easier to separate that from your social media presence, or even like just continuing to brand yourself and move yourself forward in that way. I think it's, especially because it's just like, again, being a creative, you have to be so like segmented in the way you move, because it's like you have to put yourself into your art, you have to put yourself into your work, you have to put yourself into your social media, and it's you have to save self for home for yourself too.
Absolutely. And that's what I think that also with the social media side of things, I'm just also like, hey, like I'm sitting here scrolling for an hour, I could have wrote a blog post, I could have edited this video. And so I think of it from a perspective of, what am I taking away from my life that's going to help me develop a better, like, be bigger me that I'm giving to social media. Meaning, like, I'm giving 2-3 hours to social media. What could I have done in that time?
And then also, I think too, it's like it's a good way to kind of like gauge, like, am I giving more to social media than I am to myself? Am I depleted? And then at that point, we got to reevaluate and figure out what's going on. We need a trip.
Like I said, you need a trip. You need to open that Bible, all that.
Something. All right.
This episode is sponsored by Picture Life. Picture Life is a premium photo booth rental company that delivers immersive, high-energy experiences for weddings, parties, and corporate events. They help clients capture unforgettable moments with customized branding and instant social sharing. Picture Life, your partner for every occasion.
Now, let's get a little wild and a little nosy in Wildflower, our rapid this or that game.
Hey, I'm scared, but I'm ready. Let's go.
Don't be scared. No, you know that social media. Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
Oh, I pick first?
Right, yep, you pick first.
Okay, cool. All right. Writing or producing? Ooh, okay.
We're starting off with hands.
Yeah, we starting off. Oh, this is tough. I would say writing. Writing because I'm able to get off that creative space. Writing.
Writing is good. Okay.
Writing.
I like a good, because you get to control the narrative.
Yeah, you do get to control the narrative.
All right, next one. Fashion or food?
Ooh. In what sense, though?
Whatever sense you think now. See,
Fashion
that's the fun
food?
part.
Fashion or food? I'll say fashion.
Fashion?
Yeah, fashion.
Okay. Yeah, listen, you're looking dapper. I would say you would say. I would put you at fashion.
I would say fashion. Ooh. Fight Night or Bel Air?
Ooh.
Fight Night, because that was like my introduction. I worked with one of my favorite people, two of my favorite people, specifically Will Packer and Kevin Hart. Those are the people that I said I wanted to work with first in the industry, and those are the people that I work with first. So
wow.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Because you always have to give some reverence to the first.
Absolutely.
All right. Instagram or TikTok?
TikTok.
That was easy.
Take away Instagram. You ain't gotta. Yeah. I don't need that. When the TikTok ban went into effect, I was like, why can't
That's what I was going to say. Were you crashing out when
I really was.
Party bus or house party?
Well, at a house party, I can't hang from the emergency roof. No, I would say, that's tough. Party buses are new word for me.
Yeah.
I grew up
I think you're pretty acclimated.
You know. But I grew up going to house parties. I grew up throwing house parties.
Yeah.
House parties have my heart, so I'll probably say house parties. But I will never say no to a party bus. I will never.
You gotta do the,
Oh my gosh. Crazy. Okay. Matcha or y'all are funny. Smoothie. I just tried matcha for the first time and I was not a fan.
I have to tell you now, what did you just go straight matcha or did you do
No,
it
that's
right?
the thing. A lot of people were like, you should have added this, you should have added that. First of all, if you have to add 10 pumps of this, 6 cups of sugar, I'm not drinking that. That's gonna kill me. That's literally gonna kill me. No.
Ivy League or HBCU?
HBCU. Throw that question out. That shouldn't even been a question.
All right, last one.
Last one.
In front of the camera or behind the scenes?
Ooh, why'd you got?
Because you can do both so well. Which one?
I do like to call the shots, so I'll say behind the scenes. But I love being in front of the camera too. But
So-
I would say a little bit more behind the scenes, but yeah, behind the scenes. That's my answer,
behind the scene edges it out just a
little, just a taste.
I can appreciate that.
Just a taste.
We know that no one can do this alone. And give them their flowers. We would love to know who is inspiring you.
Okay?
Okay.
Come on,
okay,
listen.
okay.
Production's coming with the heat. All right?
Y'all working today. I'm not mad at it.
We working, baby. We getting it from the concrete
From
over
the
here.
concrete.
All right, so Austun,
Yes.
who would you like to give flowers to and why?
Number one, off rip, I would say that I would give my flowers to my parents specifically because they have supported me throughout this entire journey. And, although it's new for them, it's new for me, they're always like, hey, how can we help? And I would not have gone this far without my parents, number one, and furthermore, even my siblings. Shout out to Eric, Jordan, Jillian, Lauren, Jalen, all y'all. Love you guys.
Come on,
It's
siblings.
a lot of us, a roll call. And even my bonus sister, Sierra, too. And even my best friends like Lewinnie and Bryce and Dory, like my community has just been there for me and supported me through everything. And so, my parents for sure, they're flowers, but
Yeah.
I'll give them petals and stuff to my siblings and my close friends and all that stuff.
Exactly. We got a whole bouquet at this point.
Yeah,
so
for
it's
sure.
like, it's not just one flower.
Absolutely.
Also, shout out to you. That was very beautiful. You
Thank you.
named everybody by name, okay?
Yeah.
We love that. And again, it's just like the acceptance speeches. You're ready.
I'm ready.
You're ready right now.
I keep it in my back pocket
It's
just in case.
Listen, we're not going to forget anyone. So who would you say is someone in your industry that is killing the game right now who you also want to give flowers to?
Ooh. Wow. There are so many that I would say, but I would say not right now, but I would say off the top of my head, my guy Amir Duke, shout out to him. Him and I are actually doing a creative summit in September called the Pivot Creative Summit.
Amazing.
And he's killing it. He's doing his thing as well. So shout out to Amir.
Shout out to Amir. Also, I literally just signed up my email so that I can get the alerts to know when the tickets drop. Okay, because we support. This is a community here.
Yes.
So shout out to you,
I
Amir.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for being here. And we would love to conclude this episode by giving you your flowers.
Oh.
Very much so, literally.
Wow.
So we have it. Okay, because a lot of times black men don't get flowers until they out of here.
I appreciate it.
So we want to give you your flowers where you can still smell them.
Wow.
And so we are so inspired by you and your work, your message, and how you rose from the concrete.
Thank you. Well, Bri, I want to give you your flowers too. Shout out to you, host. Come on, host.
Thank you. Yes.
Come on, host. No, I appreciate it. This has been a great great podcasts. I feel like, time just flew. We've been here for like an hour, and it's only for like 5 minutes.
We
like,
just chilling.
Yeah,
we just
chilling.
all friends.
So,
it's all a conversation.
Yeah, I definitely got to come back. So you gotta invite me.
You're
back.
always welcome. So please always come. And before you leave us, is there anything that you would like to share with our viewers?
Well, number one, you guys can just find me on all social medias, you know, at Austun Reid, AUSTUNREID. Again, for the people in the back, AUSTUNREID. You know, can follow me on all socials for that. I also have my podcast dropping next week, so make sure you guys check that out.
We support a pod around here.
You do. I have my blog that's out, Aust Thoughts. So my podcast is Aust Talks, and then I have my blog post, Aust Thoughts. I also have the Pivot Creative Summit coming in September 12th through the 14th in Los Angeles, California. We got some heavy hitters for this conference, and I need every single one creative to be there. So yeah, those my quick little plugs real quick.
Period. Okay, we love it. Yes. Well, thank you so much, Austun. Yeah. And we'll see you guys next time on the next episode of From the Concrete.
Yeah.
This episode is presented by Dirt Stained Roses Productions. Listen on all streaming platforms and watch full episodes at www.dirt-stainedroses.com.